Following on from the craziness of Avengers Infinity War, the next MCU installment will be Ant-Man and the Wasp. If it's anything like the first Ant-Man movie, we're in for a treat, and a lot of people are already hyped. With the hype comes a number of theories, and we're gonna take you through just some of the craziest ones that could come true.
No doubt, no doubt.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
We're gonna have to fight Ghost.
Ghost rules the MCU villains. After years of criticism following the likes of Whiplash, Malekith, and Ronin's underwhelming appearances in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe finally seems to be getting their villains right. Over the last year or so, the likes of Vulture, Ego, Hela, Killmonger, and Thanos have all given Loki a run for his money as the best villain in the MCU, and that trend looks set to continue with Ant-Man and the Wasp's Ghost. In the comics, Ghost is a man whose identity is actually unknown, and he originally appeared as an enemy of Iron Man's, but the character is set to receive a gender swap in Ant-Man and the Wasp, as Hannah John-Kamen will be playing a version of the character called Dawn, who apparently works as a professional corporate saboteur. The original version of the character gained his powers of intangibility and invisibility using a high-tech battlesuit, but Dawn will seemingly gain hers from a mixture of Pym tech and exposure to the quantum realm. She could be the best villain in the MCU to date. Here's hoping it turns out to be true.
I was partners with Hank on a project called Goliath.
GOLIATH'S going large. One particularly exciting aspect of Ant-Man and the Wasp is the inclusion of the brilliant Laurence Fishburne, who will be playing Bill Foster in the movie. In the comics, Foster is the alter ego of a superhero who has gone by the name of Giant Man, Goliath, and Black Goliath. And although his hero days are likely to be behind him in the MCU, given Fishburne's age, this theory suggests he will indeed grow to giant size in the movie. In the trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp, we've seen Paul Rudd's Scott Lang talking to Fishburne's Foster about how tall they've become, with Foster saying his record was 21 feet and Lang responding smugly that his record is 65 feet, and Foster seemed impressed. You have to believe his inclusion in the movie was for a reason, and he may just don his old costume and try the new technology to get a taste of what it's like to be more than 3 times the size he ever previously reached. Maybe the heroes need some extra help in their fight against Ghost, and Goliath appears to save the day.
Maybe you just need someone watching your back.
A team-up of old and new heroes. It's now a well-known fact that the iconic Michelle Pfeiffer will be appearing in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she'll be playing Janet Van Dyne, the mother of Evangeline Lilly's Hope Van Dyne, and the wife of Michael Douglas's Hank Pym, who also happened to be his former partner as the MCU's first Wasp. Janet is currently lost in the quantum realm, after having made herself subatomic in size on a mission for S.H.I.E.L.D. back in 1987 in order to disarm a Soviet missile. Ant-Man and the Wasp will see her being rescued from the quantum realm, and given that the movie's villain, Ghost, is connected to the mysterious place, there's no doubt there'll be a battle in there at some point. This theory suggests the very scenario could result in a team-up between Ant-Man and Wasps of different eras, with the characters played by Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer, joining forces in truly epic fashion in an attempt to defeat the powerful villain. Heck, the aforementioned Bill Foster might cause a surprise by joining the fight in an unfamiliar tiny form, making the battle a potentially awesome 5-on-1 beatdown in the hero's favor.
Don't be scared.
More than one major villain. There's been something of a trend in recent MCU movies whereby there's been more than one villain in all of them. In Spider-Man Homecoming, there was Vulture and Shocker. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, there was Ego, Taserface, and the Sovereign. In Thor Ragnarok, there was Hela and Surtur. In Black Panther, there was Killmonger and Ulysses Klaue. And in Avengers Infinity War, Thanos brought with him the Black Order and an army of Outriders. Given that Ant-Man and the Wasp will feature 2 heroes, then Ghost might need support in the villainy department. This theory suggests that will be the case. Who that villainous support comes from is anyone's guess. MCU movies have proven themselves capable of keeping secrets lately. Nobody knew Red Skull would appear in Avengers Infinity War, for example, so it could be anyone. Potential ideas include the likes of Blacklash, Odd John, a new version of Yellow Jacket, and even Taskmaster. Ghost is certainly capable of putting in a good show on her own, but she could surely do with some support, and one of the aforementioned quartet, or indeed any other villain, would be most welcome to provide an assist.
Now, before we start, I'd like to introduce a very special guest.
There'll be a big cameo. The movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are of course all connected, so there's always a chance that characters from other movies could make an unexpected appearance. Tony Stark appeared in The Incredible Hulk, Captain America sort of appeared in Thor: The Dark World, Doctor Strange appeared in Thor: Ragnarok, and the Red Skull appeared in Avengers: Infinity War, for example. And there's a theory that there could be a major MCU cameo in Ant-Man and the Wasp. In the first Ant-Man movie, that cameo came in the form of Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, but given that Ant-Man's now a much bigger player in the franchise, it could be a more popular hero. Potential cameos could come from the likes of Doctor Strange, given the whole quantum realm link, Tony Stark, Captain America, Hawkeye, or even Captain Marvel making her first MCU appearance. Regardless of who it is, cameos like that are something we've now come to expect as fans, so we'll be disappointed if one doesn't materialize here.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
Luis will sacrifice his life. Actor Michael Peña, who played Luis in the first Ant-Man movie, has stated that he didn't get to improvise as much in this movie, which suggests he won't be quite as funny, and that could be setting us up for an emotional climax to the character's story arc. This theory suggests that in spite of the fact that Ant-Man and the Wasp will feature two major heroes in the form of, well, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it will actually be Luis who ultimately saves the day, and he'll sacrifice his life in the process. Luis has been shown to be taking a very active part in the action this time around. He actually gets shrunk to tiny proportions in one car chase scene in the trailers, and that will put him directly in the firing line of Ghost and whoever else takes up a villainous role in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Given how popular the character has become, it would be an extremely hard-hitting death and one that fans would find extremely difficult to swallow. So it would minimize those common complaints about Marvel movies having no stakes, but it also wouldn't result in the MCU losing a major hero, which would be good for the franchise going forward.
I hope they remember you.
It will reveal the key to defeating Thanos. Avengers: Infinity War name-dropped Scott Lang, stating that he took a deal after the events of Captain America: Civil War that ensured he wasn't arrested and could spend more time with his family. However, that would make for a pretty boring Ant-Man movie, and as the trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp confirm, he's back out there being a superhero. This theory suggests that while he's out doing his thing, the means to defeating Thanos will be discovered, even if Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne, and company don't realize it at the time. The likelihood is that the key to defeating the Mad Titan will lie in the quantum realm, and it will probably be due to the discovery that the realm enables people to time travel, which will ultimately allow some of the surviving Avengers to travel back in time in order to prepare for what Thanos planned to do with the fully powered Infinity Gauntlet. Don't be surprised if the aforementioned big cameo in the movie comes in the form of Doctor Strange. Strange saw more than 14 million potential futures in Infinity War, one of which resulted in a victory for the heroes. Given that he can access the quantum realm, he may have astral projected into said realm to inform Ant-Man of his mission for Avengers 4. Some of the characters will disappear. It's generally understood that Ant-Man and the Wasp will take place sometime between the events of Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of an overlap with either of those at some point in the movie. With that in mind, and given that Ant-Man and the Wasp will be the first movie since Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half of all life in the universe, this theory suggests that the effects of the finger snap on Scott Lang and company will be depicted in the movie. It may come at the very end, or even in the form of a mid or post-credits scene, and it's fairly certain that Lang or Hope Van Dyne won't be turning to dust, but there's every chance that characters like Hank Pym, Janet Van Dyne, Luis, Bill Foster, Dave, Kurt, Maggie, Paxton, or Cassie Lang could be shown being erased from existence. If something like that was to happen, especially in the case of Cassie Lang, it would make Ant-Man and the Wasp's roles in the fourth Avengers movie that much more meaningful.
Oh no.
Infinity War's casualties are in the quantum realm. This theory is one of the more outlandish in this video, as the victims of Thanos' finger snap are probably either completely gone without a trace or they're residing in the Soul World that was briefly visited in Avengers: Infinity War. And it's the theory that everyone who disappeared when Thanos erased half the universe was actually sent to the quantum realm. If that's the case, then their whereabouts could be revealed in Ant-Man and the Wasp, either when Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne are in the quantum realm looking for Janet Van Dyne, or maybe at the end of the movie as the movie's big reveal. There's even an extension to this theory, which suggests that Captain Marvel is currently stuck in the quantum realm, and that her first appearance in the MCU could come as a surprise when she's found by Lang and Van Dyne.
You made it. But you went in.
The last act will be spent safe in the quantum realm. After potentially having become rather accustomed to the place following the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp, this theory suggests that the titular heroes and potentially some of their supporting characters will spend the final act of the movie using the quantum realm as a safe house. The theory revolves around the idea that they will have been warned by somebody, perhaps Doctor Strange, that Thanos' finger snap was going to happen, and that the quantum realm is the only place to ensure they don't become a victim of said snap. Maybe while he was scanning more than 14 million possible futures, Strange sent his astral self to deliver the warning, which would enable Ant-Man and the Wasp to emerge from the quantum realm after the finger snap in order to join the likes of Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Thor, Bruce Banner, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Rocket in undoing the Mad Titan's actions in the as-yet untitled 4th Avengers movie.
Gotta say, that's awesome.
And that's the end of this video. Did you enjoy it? What do you think of these Ant-Man and the Wasp theories? Do you have any of your own? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant on YouTube for more great videos like this one. Bye for now.